right. Well, let's get to Animal Kingdom.
All right, let's do that.
All right. This, if you weren't aware, if you haven't seen it, it was on, what was the network it was on? I didn't watch it on the
TNT.
Okay, so it was on TNT network. 6 seasons came to an end last Sunday, and it was it was a conclusion that we speculated on,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, it was our opinion of how we thought it might end,
Right.
and maybe we were about half right.
Yeah. I mean, I think we kind of had the basic premise of where it was going to go, but it did take a couple of turns on the premise. And I have some things that I didn't like about it, but overall, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
You know, I thought it was very fast paced. If I have any complaint, my biggest complaint is it should have been a 2-hour special.
I agree.
It was a little bit rushed. Like the part where, spoiler alert, people, but the part where they break Pope out and then they get him to the house and then they take off on the motorcycle and Pope takes off in the car or whatever, the truck.
Yeah.
It was like, and then a second later he's back at the house. It was so fast. It was like, wait a minute, that felt very rushed to me that he was back at the house. It was like, how did he get to the house? How did he even know where the house was from where he was? He didn't even know where he was. He wasn't part of the plan. Like he didn't know where that place was, the hideout.
Place. Yeah, the
safe. So how did he know how to get straight back to the house from there?
I don't know. Well, let's back up a little bit. Let's back up a little bit into the season itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had questions about this before, and I had questions about it again. What role did that black biker play in the series? It was like a filler.
Yeah, they just used it to take up minutes of episodes because he wasn't anywhere to be seen in the finale.
I mean, the guy showed up out of the blue.
Yeah.
Craig didn't know this guy from Adam. This guy just shows up at Craig's gym.
Mm-hmm.
They get to be friendly, and do a few robberies together.
Yeah.
And then he disappears.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we saw him was when he fought him, right? That was it?
Yeah. So I don't know what purpose that served in the series, because it was like a filler. It just like, well, we insert this guy, Craig gets involved with this guy, to what end? And then the guy is gone. And then it's like, well, what was the reason for that?
Yeah. Yeah, it did make sense.
Do you have any thoughts on where that?
I have no idea.
Character fits in at all?
He doesn't. I mean, the only thought I have is that they used him to fucking kind of left turn the audience into thinking that he was, keeping us a little bit confused if there was an informant or something that had infiltrated the Codys. That's the only thing I could think of, is they wanted us to sort of think that he was like an informant.
Yeah.
Kind of like the surfer guy. Wasn't it Adrian?
Yeah.
Kind of like that guy was an informant. I think maybe they wanted us to think that the black guy was an informant too.
Right.
Because they also had the girl that was informing on Pope. So maybe that's what they were trying to do, was say, yeah, they've got, they might have, the whole family might be compromised at this point.
Right.
That might be. And again, I'm reaching at this point, because he sure wasn't an informant. He wasn't anything. He was gone after week like 5. He just disappeared.
Yeah. And then, Pope obviously had that skate park.
And what happened to that?
And he befriended that skate kid who was an informant and was reporting back to that female police officer.
Right.
And then, Pope more or less abducted that police officer and then let her go.
Yeah.
And she infiltrated their house, and, obviously Pope was aware that somebody infiltrated the house because she turned that cereal box backwards.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then the kid admitted that, that he told her where they lived.
Right.
And then nothing.
Yeah, then another just went away. Well, I mean, she did get him arrested.
Yes, that's true.
So maybe they were just done with the kid and they just moved on to her.
So that was kind of weird, but what I wish they had done, and we'll talk about the finale here, is I wish they had tied up some loose ends a little bit.
Okay.
Like the Adrian guy. I mean, he played an integral part in Darren's life and in the Cody life, and he was on the run in Indonesia, and Darren, after the breakup of the Cody gang, and everybody was going to go their separate ways. Darren Craig had made mention of Adrian, and he's just like, yeah, so are you going to go hook up with him again, and this, that, and the other? But there was never any, you never knew what happened to that guy. I mean, aside from, I guess you just assume he's still in Indonesia somewhere.
Yeah, he's hiding out somewhere, and I mean, I guess you were just supposed to think that that Darren was gonna go off and try and find him, I guess.
Yeah.
With his $1.4 million or whatever it was that he never got.
Now this ending where Jay double crossed everyone.
Yeah.
We had talked about that last week, where Jay went to go visit his mother's grave. And the minute he did that and visited his mother's grave, and then he talked his new girlfriend who worked at the law office to change that the distribution of the money. You just kind of knew that Jay was gonna get revenge on his uncles for what happened to his mother.
Right.
And they did close out that thing with Pope pretty well, where Pope basically went into the remembering mode of what happened to Julia, and how Smurf treated her and dropped her off in the slums and in the ghetto, and made her survive on the streets and all this other shit, and how he kind of felt responsible, that he should have done more, like, well, I had it coming to me.
Right.
So that part was good.
I agree.
And so, but the part that was kind of weird, or I shouldn't say weird, is that Jay is just a cold-blooded killer, because the minute his new chick decided not to go with him and escape with him, he had no problem offing her. He didn't give that even a second thought. The minute she said that she wasn't going to go with him, he whips out the whatever it was, heroin or drugs or whatever, and just gives her a hot dose in her drink, and that's the end of her. And it's just like, yep, oh well, fuck her. She didn't want to go, so this is the price you pay.
Boy, I'll tell you, just as a side note, how fucking hot was that girl?
You liked her, huh?
My goodness, yes.
All right.
Her name is Stevie. What was her name? Stevie Lynn Jones, by the way. I definitely looked her up after seeing her in the bathing suit in the pool.
Sure.
What a set of cans on that broad. Holy smokes.
Right.
Like that.
Well, what's amazing to me is that Jay was so confident that his uncles were going to get caught by the police by setting up, obviously, disabling the getaway cars.
Yeah.
Getting rid of all the weaponry that they had stashed away at the safe place, and then calling into the police and pinpointing where the guys would be.
Right.
And he returns to the house all leisurely and shit.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, cool, whatever.
He had no problem going back to the house. And you got to wonder, was he that confident about it, or B, did he know that the police were going to come looking, and he wanted to make everything look as normal and keep himself out of the fray of breaking Pope out of jail? Like,
I think that's what it was, and that's why.
I don't know what's going on. My uncles, we're not on good terms. I don't have any connection with them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they were doing. My problem with what he did at the hideout point, so he disabled all the cars. Took all the weapons, but left a motorcycle? What, did he forget?
Well, here's the thing. So the Cody boys, they're on the run now. They have no money. The safe place, the hideout place, didn't work out. So they figure out a way. they find an abandoned house or a house that happens to be empty.
Yeah.
Are they the luckiest son of a bitches to where Pope can just walk out the door where there's six or so sheriffs out there with guns and he can blow them all away?
Yeah, with a couple of shots and then just got away. It's like, hey, cool, whatever.
I'll just walk out the front door. So he's got armed police hiding behind police cars.
Yeah.
Shooting at him out in the open, and he doesn't catch a bullet, but he's able to take out all six.
Yeah, well, he was a badass.
while the brothers ride away on a motorcycle while the other deputies watch them ride off into the desert.
Yeah, and they're just like, we'll catch them later. We're gonna stay here with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole scene. See, and this goes what I was saying before. This is why I think it was rushed. They had to make that whole scene go fast, and they should have slowed down that scene, I think, a little bit. I think that whole from they got there and nothing was the way it was supposed to be to escaping was way too quick. It wouldn't happen that way. It just wouldn't happen that way.
Then, what was the reason Pope returned to the house?
That's another really good question. I don't know, other than it's just the only place he knew to go.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of like if you watch a lot of like crime things and stuff that they all go back to either their home or the scene of the crime.
Right.
And maybe for Pope, that was like where all of his misery started, was at that house.
Yeah.
Because that's when his mom got turned out into a fucking junkie whore. And, so or not his mom, but his sister. That's where Smurf was, and she ruined his life, and he wanted to, I don't know. Maybe he just thought Jay was going to be there and he wanted to kill Jay.
Well, why I wonder why he thought Jay would be there. If Jay took all the money, which they were pretty aware that he did, because Darren's like, Jay didn't transfer the money.
Yeah.
So Pope makes his way back to the house, and again, what was the reason for that?
Maybe he thought he had money there.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, because I know Jay did take a bunch of money. Maybe that was out of Pope's room. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea. I'm with you. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me either, that he would go back to the house.
Yeah.
Except for it made for good TV when they burned it down.
Absolutely.
That was good.
Yeah. But did you, it was just kind of weird that Pope is bleeding out from his wound that he reopened a couple of times.
Right.
And, the last thing he does is he goes to his car and gets that old picture of he and Julia and Smurf when they were little kids, and then just lays down by the pool and dies.
Just dies. All right, out.
He just like dies by the pool.
Yeah. I don't understand why he pulled Jay out of the fucking pool.
Well, because he felt guilty. That's when he was going through the whole
the whole back and forth with his past, and
yeah. So he was reckoning that as Uncle Pope, and Julia was in such a bad way, and he basically turned his back on Julia when Smurf dropped her off at Skid Row.
Yeah.
And he got in the car and just left her, and he left her helpless.
Right.
And it's just like, well, it's kind of like my duty now to make up for this by letting Jay go instead of killing her too, or killing him too. I'm going to make amends and let Jay go.
Yeah, should have absolutely whacked out Jay.
He was close.
He should have let it happen. That's probably my biggest disappointment of the whole ending, is that Jay lived. I was hoping when Pope got to Jay, that Jay was gone.
All right.
That was my big hope, was that Jay, after all of the manipulation that he did, would have to finally pay a penance, especially when he killed the girl.
Yeah.
Because she really didn't have nothing to do with nothing. I mean, she helped him manipulate the money, but ultimately she was kind of an innocent that just got worked.
She was kind of duped into doing what she did.
Yeah.
And then when she realized that she was a patsy and got duped, then that's when she had some clarity and said, yeah, I can't go with you,
And he said, okay, well, here, drink this and then you can go.
You're out.
Here,
Oh,
drink some cranberry arsenic.
yeah. So now Darren and Craig are on the run, and they go to rob that convenience store, and the convenience store owner's 6-year-old kid,
Yeah.
you know, shoots Craig in the gut.
Right.
And they're trying to make it to across the Mexican border to go see their Mexican doctor to stitch him back up,
Right.
which basically is a harbinger of scenes from previous episode where almost the identical thing happened
Right.
before.
Yep. Exactly.
And this time he didn't make it. Obviously, he died by the ocean side.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing now. Darren lived and he's on the run, but he has no means of any kind. Nothing.
Right.
He has no money. Everything that he owned is gone.
Yeah.
And now he's a fugitive on top of
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
And making the promise that he was going to take care of Ren and his kid. And where were they at? Where had they gone? They were in where were they waiting for Craig to come get them?
It was just across the border somewhere. Somewhere
Were they?
across the border.
I thought they were like in some island or something. I don't know.
I think they were all supposed to go to Thailand or something, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, now Darren is on the loose. He's still living. Now here's the question.
Mhm.
Does he just let it all go, or does he seek out revenge and hunt Jay down?
Well, see, I would be for that personally, because then they could start a nice little side series that would run. I would be for that actually, but I don't know. I have a feeling that they're letting that series just end with questions.
Right,
I've heard nothing about a spinoff.
right.
I think that's what should happen.
Yeah.
That would be great to have like a spinoff of him trying to find Jay and traveling to wherever the fuckistan he is, and and tracking him down. That could be good.
Yeah. So Jay takes off. He's got the little over $5 million, and now he's at
Mhm.
this resort
Yeah.
and just sitting on the edge of a lawn chair or deck chair, and just like, okay, now I'm here and I'm by myself and I got the money and I got away. So
Yeah.
what a lonely existence that is.
Well, and that's what they were trying to say is, okay, you got all the money, but now you're alone.
Yeah. Now you're
That
by
was
yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'd find friends.
Well, yeah, of
Find
course you
$5
would.
million.
But I mean, yeah, but this is very early on,
Sure.
the dust hadn't even settled yet, but there he is, the lone survivor,
Yeah.
next to lone survivor with all the money or all the marbles.
Mhm. Well, he probably thinks he's the lone survivor. He probably doesn't think the other ones, he knows Pope didn't live, and he probably thinks the other two didn't make it either. He doesn't know.
Right.
So,
But
yeah.
boy, what a conscience or lack of conscience that this Jay has to
Mhm.
off his chick with no issue.
Yeah, none.
Set up his uncles who he's lived with and done capers with and did all these things with over,
Mhm.
a matter of a couple of years, and
Right.
then set them all up and leave them out there to hang them out to dry.
No, ultimately, I think what they're, and again, this is the artsy part of it. I think ultimately they were trying to say that Jay turned into Smurf.
Okay. Well, I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, you've got a good point.
I think that's what the art people that wrote the story are trying to say is that Jay, none of the other brothers, and that's why they're dead or fucked, because they didn't have enough of the heartlessness of Smurf
Right.
to survive. But he was heartless, just like she was heartless. And that's what I think the overall message was that he full circled into Smurf.
I see.
That it should have been Julia, but instead it was Julia's kid.
Right. See.
That's my thought. I could be wrong on that. I don't know.
Well, that's a good analogy. Now, being that this was the last episode and Smurf, kind of went through her changes from, being the very young Smurf to being the homeowner Smurf to being the matriarch Smurf and running
Mhm.
this crime family. So they basically gave her final look of how she looked as she aged from, being a
Mhm.
young person to going with the whole bleach blonde hair,
Yeah.
uh, haircut thing to resemble what, Ellen
Ellen
Barkin
Barkin.
looked
Yeah.
like as Smurf, as the aging Smurf.
Right. Not a fan. I
Well, whether
wasn't I wasn't a fan I wasn't a fan of the Layla George with the blonde hair.
yeah, but I thought that was a pretty clever tie-in, though.
Oh, yeah, yeah, sure.
I wasn't a fan of the look, but they morphed her into what we knew Smurf to be from
Mhm.
the beginning of the show
Sure. Mhm.
with the blonde shoulder length hair.
Right. Mhm.
So I thought that was a pretty good what do you want to call tie-in
Sure.
from the very early Smurf to bringing her into present day and becoming the Ellen Barkin Smurf.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I think, again, I thought that they did a good job. Overall, I thought they did a really good job with it, but I would have liked 45 more minutes just to tie up a lot of these things that we're talking about right now,
Yeah, I agree.
which could have been easily tied up. I was because it didn't have a weird runtime to like an hour and 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It was some weird, no, it wasn't like an hour or an hour and a half. It was like in the middle there somewhere, and it was like, all right, just if you're gonna go an hour 15, then go an hour 30 and close up all the loopholes.
Right.
But I still enjoyed it.
I did too. I did enjoy it. I thought the caper of, taking out the prison bus
Yeah,
was well done and well thought out, and then of course putting in the having Pope put in the little transponder where he
yeah, in
hit
his
it
gut.
inside of his gut, you know,
I
and tracking him that way, and basically figuring out somewhere that bus was going to pass out on a desert road to where they
Yeah.
could get him out of there.
What was my only thought with the transponder, and this is stupid, but I thought of it when they showed it in the scene, and I still am thinking about it right now. Why didn't he just swallow it right before he got on the fucking bus?
I don't know if he could swallow that.
Why? It was tiny.
It was a little square. It was a little. It was probably like a 1 inch by 1 inch square. Do you think you could have got that down your throat?
Oh yeah,
Oh, come on now. That
I
thing was
certainly do.
that thing was sharp, and
I
it
think
was.
I could, if it was life or death. Yes,
Oh boy, I think you'd choke on it.
I think I could get it. I think I would have at least tried that route before I cut a hole in my side and jammed it in there and then burned it closed.
Well, that was the whole badass part of it.
Yeah,
The
true.
fact that he was innovative enough to cauterize his wound after he ripped it back open and shoved
Yeah,
that thing up in there and they cauterized it closed.
yeah. I mean, he was a badass. He's
Yeah, just
more
sit there
bad.
and just sit there and burn himself and close up his wound.
Yeah.
That was kind of wacky and it was innovative that
Mhm.
that he would that he would think, hey, I'll just put this in my little zipper in the side of my gut here.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I overall I'm okay with it. I'm a little bummed that I don't have nothing to watch tomorrow.
I know. It's just like, damn it, another good series is gone.
I know. Now we got to find another one to watch.
Yeah. So overall, I thought season 5 was kind of sketchy. It was
Yeah,
kind
yeah, yeah.
season 5 could have been better. It wasn't, the first season, obviously, without Ellen Barkin running the show,
Mhm.
and it was kind of disjointed.
Yeah.
But they brought it back around in season 6 and did a good job with. I think pretty much every episode was pretty strong.
Yeah, yeah, I loved this season. I thought this season was one of the strongest of the entire run of the show. Because it all led somewhere too. Last season was horrible.
Yeah,
I'll just say it. It was
it
not
was
good.
disjointed. It just
Yeah,
didn't really make a whole lot of sense. I mean,
yeah,
they were involved with that Asian looking chick that what's her name?
yeah. I don't Ren. Was it Ren? Not
No,
Ren.
that's Ren's Craig's chick. The
Yeah,
the
what was? I don't remember. All I know is you had that whole stealing the big rock thing or whatever that was, and
that big art project or whatever that was
yeah,
kind of weird,
and then trying to steal the safe from the skate park with the shirt in it. It was like, ugh, this whole thing is fucking dumb. And the house being left to some lady that nobody had ever heard of in 30 years is like, come on, just stop it. Stop reaching.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. So both Jay and Craig was banging out that lady's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and then she disappeared.
Yeah, she just went away.
Yeah. Jay was banging her out, and Craig was banging her out, and then nothing.
Yeah, just gone.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. She just
See ya.
it's just bizarre how people just kind of, you know, they played a role in the show, and then they, you know, then
Yeah, they're here, they're gone.
yeah, to no means to the end. I mean, they had no influence on anything that happened to the show.
Right.
They were just peripheral characters.
Right. Yeah. Well, they had that a lot. I mean, they had a lot of characters. I mean, that's one part of it is they just had, I think they had a few too many characters.
Yeah.
You know, which worked on some levels and didn't work on it. Like again, the black guy, that was unneeded.
Yeah, it was okay. What role did this guy fulfill?
Same with the guy that Darren had the bar with this year. That he employed at the bar.
Yeah.
He really didn't serve any purpose either. Not really.
No.
He was there, did a job with him. It didn't work out well, and that was it. That was really it. Then it was okay. Well, now you're fired. Okay, I'll just walk away.
Yeah. Well, but it led you to believe that this guy might have turned on him.
Yeah.
You know, again, it was another. Was this guy going to be a problem for them down the road here? Is he gonna, is he gonna, turn state's evidence on these guys, or
right?
Is he going to be a witness, or what's going to happen to him?
Yeah, we have no idea. So, see ya, other guy, whatever your name was.
It was interesting that Darren's dad, Billy, showed up again.
Oh yeah.
He popped up, and he was about the only one who was right about Jay.
Oh yeah. He hated Jay from minute one.
Yeah, he hated Pope and he hated Jay, and he goes, "Don't give that goddamn kid one cent. He's gonna fuck you guys."
Yeah, and he was right.
He goes, "Well, he's done a good job for us. We trust Jay." He goes, "You don't trust him."
Yeah, he wasn't wrong.
No, he wasn't wrong.
That was actually a good character. Dennis Leary is just good.
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing is that the young Dennis Leary character that early on in the young Smurf.
Yeah.
They did a good job finding that actor to transition over to Dennis Leary, because they kind of looked the same. The younger actor looked a lot like Dennis.
He did.
The surfer beach bum dude guy.
Yeah.
And they both had, similar builds and facial structure and everything. They all kind of acted the same way with the young Pope.
Yep. Yeah. The young Pope, that was freaky.
Yeah.
The way they both walked the same way, and that weird walk that they both did.
And that moodiness.
Yeah. That was kind of freaky. It was cool.
They did a good job casting that show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they did obviously we both enjoyed the young Smurf.
Yes.
And how they morphed her into Ellen Barkin. They did a good job with that, and, transitioned her.
Yeah.
And, overall, a great series. If you've never seen it, watch all 6 seasons.
Yeah, it's on Amazon, I think, all but the current season, and that'll be on there probably in 2 months or something.
Amazon?
Yeah.
You made for free?
For free, yeah, or for if you have Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I bought the series.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I watched it.
Okay.
Because after it aired on Sunday, that it was released on Amazon as soon as it was over.
Okay, cool.
So I was able to watch it an hour later.
Right. Good show, man. I loved it. And now you can go back and watch it whenever you want, right? Now you
Yeah,
own it.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So aside from the man on man love with Darren and his different guys,
Yeah, it's different men.
the whole series is worthy.
I agree. I loved it.
So if you've heard us review that throughout the last couple of years,
Mhm.
you'll be in for a good treat if you haven't watched it.
Yeah. And if you hate when we review it, Jim, we're done. We won't be reviewing it anymore.
Right, it's over. But a guy like Jim, even though he's got his own thoughts, he should go watch the series. It's a good one.
Dude, it came out after Barney Miller. Then it can't be good. It can't be good if it came out after Barney Miller.
Anything that came out after 78, fuck that
That's right.
shit.
Last good show on TV ever, The Greatest American Hero.
Yeah.
Old man Jim.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm walking on air. That's so good.
Yep.
But that's our review of Animal Kingdom. It wrapped up last week, and I'm sad to see it go.
I am too.
It was pretty exciting. It was an exciting show.
Yep. So now we got to move on to whatever the next thing will be.
Right.
I have no idea now. I mean, I'm watching a couple of shows, but I don't really have anything that I would point you to.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I really enjoyed the old man.
Yeah, and that should be back soon.
Yeah, but that was only 7 episodes.
Yeah, hopefully they come back with some more. Did you ever watch like Homeland? Did you ever watch Homeland?
I never did, no.
That's a good one too. You might like that. That's real kind of espionage-y.
Sure.
It's a pretty good show.
Well, nevertheless, I'll be on the lookout for something something new.
There you go.
There's a lot of series out there, but it seems like after like the second season of whatever it is, it seems to fall flat.
Yeah, a lot of them do. Because they run out of idea. I mean, they blow their load in the first season, and then because they don't expect to get picked up for a second season, and then they do, and then and then if it's doing well, then it's like, oh fuck, now what do we got to do?
You know what kind of came and went with a whisper?
What's that?
Everybody was so hyped up about the return of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But it didn't make a splash. I mean, people were excited that it was coming back and, that it was going to be the finale and it wrapped up and everything. But I didn't really see too much fanfare about it.
Not as much as the previous seasons. I think one, because the kids are all fucking 35 years old now. I think that had something to do with making it hard to believe that they're 10.
Right.
I think that played a part of it. And I quite honestly, the episodes were too long this year.
Yeah, it's you have to be on high alert to watch that or be well rested because there's just so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the episodes are really long.
Yeah, I mean, like every episode's like an hour. Every episode's like a movie. It's like it's like an hour and a half, and then wasn't the finale? It was like 2 hours or something.
Right.
It was long as fuck. It's like, man, this is a lot to take in.
It is. I agree. Hey, Alex caller, you're on the air.
I have a recommendation.
You do. It better be a good one, Tim.
Have you guys seen Bull?
What is it?
Bull. It's called Bull.
Spell it.
The CBS show, Bull, Bull?
Yeah, Bull.
Yeah, I've seen that with the guy from NCIS, I think, is on that show, right?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I can't get enough of it.
It's a pretty good show. It is a good show. How did you end up seeing it, Tim? Did Motley Crue or something appear on an episode?
No, I just saw it on television. Started watching it, and now I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I agree with Tim on that one. That's as far as free TV goes, that is a pretty good, well thought out show.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. I like that show.
I liked the series Barry. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was a weird, had some weird twist to it, but
sure.
that one's over too.
Sure. What else you watching, Tim?
Well, I have one more recommendation as well.
All right.
Superstore.
Superstore? Yeah, I'm a pass on Superstore. That's on NBC.
All right.
These guys that like work at a Walmart type store and it's that all their lives. It's really interesting.
No, it's not.
All right, hail and kill.
Hell. Well, you don't agree with me, Chris, so I'm out.
Now, if I put this up on YouTube, I'm sure I'll get all the Superstore fans be like, that guy's an asshole. He doesn't know anything about Superstore.
Yeah.
And he said it's not very good.
Yeah, it's a good show. You should do your research and find out if it's good or not before you comment.
I'll bet you don't even know the key grip's name.
You know, the best boy lives right next to my house, and he says the series great.
Yeah. You know, they've had 3 showrunners, in case you didn't know, and they've managed to keep the show running. Shut up.
My girlfriend's friend's mother, she's a PA on the series.
Yeah.
So stupid.
YouTube stinks.
All right. Well, I say we take a break.
All right.
And I'll let you pick a tune. So what should we play?
How's about if we go with how about if we go with Tangier?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of different stuff this week. Take Just a Little Time from the Stranded release.
All right. Let's see here. Stranded. There we are. Take Just a Little Time, huh?
Yep.
Wow, that's an odd one. I think Tangier toured with Cinderella. I think I think they got kind of like their break.
Okay.
By opening for Cinderella, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember
your research. Tangier never toured with Cinderella.
It was Brittany Fox, dumbass.
But yeah, I liked Tangier when they came out.
I don't remember Tangier when they came out. See, I didn't do my research and no.
I have both their CDs.
I've heard the name, but I really don't think I'd ever heard a song until this week.
All right.
Just never heard them. So.
All right. Only 31 years later, Chris is getting on the Tangier wagon.
Cutting edge.
All right. Well, we're going to play a few songs here. So from the Stranded release, this is Tangier with Takes Just a Little Time exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Thanks for checking out this episode of The Classic Metal Show. Get all of our episodes uncensored at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. Join us weekly from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Eastern at www.cmsradio.net. Participate in the live chat room at www.chatandkill.com. Once again, thank you for checking out The Classic Metal Show with Neeley and Chris. Hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and hand job!